and we are also recording now as well.
Awesome.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our Friday pop-up. I am LB Elm, the founder of the Culturist Union, and we have our dear co-founder, Carmen McCullum, and we are elated to have Mr. Marcus Thompson with us today. Can you tell the people, like, flex for a little bit? Tell us your resume. Tell us about you, what you're running, what you're doing. Tell us all the things.
Well, yes. First of all, thank you, LB and Carmen, for having me on. I really do appreciate it. I started this questionably, I guess you could say, because I knew I wanted to do something politically. Because I'm one of those people that just can't sit back and talk on Facebook and talk behind the doors and not do something. It was driving me crazy. But then this elected office, I started researching it, and I noticed how much I could do for the people in this district. Now, my program or my platform is very, very simple. I like to try to keep it down on the level so everybody can understand what it is. But you've also probably heard these words thousands of times. They're cliched now, but it is quality healthcare, quality education, and quality jobs. Now, these are very, very simple to say. Let's just put it like that. But when it comes down to it, quality healthcare in Georgia is not something that we are working toward. I mean, we are 46th in the country for access to preventative healthcare. We're 46 to access, yes, we're 46 to access to mental healthcare, to mental healthcare professionals.
I did not know that.
That
is crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, over half of the counties in this state, they don't even have an OBGYN or a medical professional. You may have to drive, and that's over 80 counties now. That's over 80 counties. You may have to drive 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours before you can even get access to healthcare.
Oh, Lord, I just feel sad for all the vaginas out there. Oh, my God.
Indeed.
Oh, my God. I just got really sad. You went really dark, Marcus.
And I mean, it is insane that this has been allowed to, I'm not going to say that people are blocking this, but they're definitely not doing anything to make it better.
Absolutely.
It's been like that.
Let me ask you, because we're novice, we're not in politics, and a lot of our followers, we don't know what your roles are. What exactly would be your role if you were in that office? Like, what is your job description?
So as a state representative, I would be reviewing, creating, and voting on laws that the people in this district and, of course, the people in Georgia as a whole would be living under. Now, one of the things that I feel like is very crucial is I'm still a full-time worker. I'm not retired, and I don't own a ton of businesses, so I don't, I'm not necessarily, I'm still working. So the laws that I create, I would still be living under.
Right.
And
which is beneficial because then you get a full perspective of it.
Right.
Okay, so you're going to be doing healthcare and then education. Like what's your platform for education?
Education. So I think that education should be everybody should have the same access to quality education, no matter where they live and no matter what they look like. Now, when it comes down to how we're going to do this, just like with the other points on my platform, I have to engage with the people that know how this stuff works. Because the bottom line is, I'm not a politician. I don't know how to say all these things that sound beautiful in a 2-minute time span, but I do know how to work with people to get to a common goal. I would say that we would need to really touch base with teachers and school boards and take a look at the curriculum to make sure that not only do we have what we're teaching right now, but we also add trade. We add entrepreneurial curriculum to the to what we have in the schools now. Because I mean, there are people, let's face it, my daughter is 12. She is nagging the mess out of me to build a website to make money.
And do you know this year in the United States, 50% of all Americans qualified as freelancers. Everybody has a side hustle. Everybody has a side gig.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
and most people don't know the business of their business. And so I think what you're talking about is absolutely right. I'm always gonna advocate for entrepreneurship classes in the classroom.
Of course,
Absolutely.
Of course. And I mean, that's like you said, they don't know how to build their business. And I think that's a fault on America as a whole.
Yeah.
We're built on small business, but just, we had a forum not too long ago where people don't pay themselves.
Right.
And that is used as a metric in the PPP regarding whether or not you can get a loan,
whether or not you qualify or not. And it's funny too, because if you really think about it, in America, we pride ourselves on being business owners, on being entrepreneurs, of being, free spirits and those, hard workers. But we also look at it as if it's a utopia, like you have to be at a certain level or a certain prestige or a certain education to be an entrepreneur. And, I would hope that, we can create some policies together, because I want to be an advocate for you if you win, to,
Absolutely.
Build these policies up so that way we can do some radical change in this state.
I think we can. I would love to have you on board as an advisor, because people that live it really, really have a good understanding of it. So if you're having trouble, and I know you personally have been looking into these things. I have not. I need to know from the people that have been struggling with this exactly what they're struggling with and how to help them.
Right. You were on our political forum. What was that? Was that last week?
It was last
It was
Thursday.
no, it
Last
was Monday.
It was rescheduled,
Wasn't it Monday?
Child, it was Monday. Okay.
Okay.
It's a long week.
Time frame is just out there.
I know.
So you were on the forum, and we were talking. Well, they kind of touched on it. They were talking about minority businesses, and I know we talked about education. We talked about healthcare. But do you have any policies, or do you have any points about minority businesses, especially minority women businesses? And how you can help us?
Yes, absolutely. I'm in daily contact with the Coastal Georgia Minority Chamber, and I talk to,
which is my boo, Sabrina Newby. Shout out.
There you go.
Our mentor. So yeah.
Absolutely.
And see, I sit on the board of that chamber as well, and what we've noticed is that minority businesses have been hit extra hard by this crisis. Now, what I would propose to do, and this is still a fledgling thing, and I understand that there is something similar to this in the work, in actually being operated now, or in the process of being made now, but I don't know about everything behind it. But I would like to make business incubators, but have it monitored by people that are neutral, and that the money that is brought in, all of it, or at least 90% of it, only 10% would go towards business cost and overhead or what have you for the incubator itself, but the rest would go out to businesses that want to open up and that need guidance, that need classes, that need some type of almost like a counselor type of thing, where you walk them through the process from idea to loan to the equipment that you need for the business to open to opening day. And
but you know what? It's so funny though. I don't mean to cut you off, and I know I just did, but
no, that's
what I've recognized is, like with SCORE, with the SBDC, with SBA, and I'm about to completely step on some toes, but that's okay because I have 9 of them.
I feel like I know what you're about to say.
I want to know
you go to these places and you get advice, right? They give you advice, they give you guidance, and it's completely surface level, unless they believe in your business. And maybe that's just been my experience, but I've talked to a lot of minority business owners. And what I've noticed is that they do not give you exactly what you need. And most of the time, minorities we're smart, we're capable. The thing that we're lacking is capital and direction.
I was about to say capital.
And
yes,
so
capital and direction.
You give us a plan, we create a strategy. You know, if your incubator could create a strategy for people, and it doesn't mean a 30-page business plan, less than 5 pages.
Right.
You don't even need all of that. In a clear direction on what to do, and check-ins, and you know, some sort of parameters about how that money is being spent, where that money is being spent, where that money is being going. Like, that's what people need. People need capital.
Yes, absolutely.
Money. Like,
they need capital. I've heard too many stories where Black-owned businesses were basically, they were approved for a loan. Let's just say there's a Black-owned business in there, and there's a mainstream business that is side by side. They have the same product. It's going to be the same type of business plan. The mainstream business is approved for $50,000, and they go on and they get started. The Black-owned business is approved for $1,500, and they're given a growth plan.
Absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
I just read that.
We
Yes.
went through that when we first started.
Yes, absolutely.
See, and that I've heard too many stories about that. I'm like, how do you expect any business to succeed, which is a very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? That is a very loaded question. Mm-hmm. How do you expect any business to succeed with that little bit of help?
You don't.
I don't think. Exactly.
But they pride themselves on saying that they helped because they gave strategy, and they gave $1,500 funky dollars. Right. That you can't do anything with.
We've experienced this in sort of kind of all aspects of, you know, this business process. Even when we were, you know, months ago, maybe in October or so, looking for properties and speaking with realtors, which, you know, like, your realtor should work for you, saying like, oh, well, maybe this isn't like the right spot for you, and just kind of like showing you places that, you know, just don't represent your business or your brand well, and just not wanting to like give you, you know, the cream of the crop, or, you know, what you deserve or what you're looking for. And it's insulting, honestly. And it's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
Well, see, I think it's very easy for people that don't have to live it to just completely bypass it. Right. I mean, you know, like you said, things like that are insulting. They're probably not even thinking that it's offensive. I mean, I think that we have to, I think I'm a very firm believer in people that understand what people are going through will know better how to react to those situations. These guys are, I won't say they're aloof, but they're not in the sphere to be able to relate to what you guys are going through. And I think that would come in with the business, the incubator. I think that we should talk to SBA, we should talk to SBDC, and we should just say, hey, this is what we're seeing in the community. What can we do to curb that? What can we do to work together?
Definitely.
To get something? Yes, I think that's a definite possibility.
Definitely. So we're gonna change. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Carmen.
Well, I was just, you know, like, I wouldn't say that there's a lack of resources or a lack of mentors. Like, the mentors are there, they're available, but there is a huge disconnect when it comes to action. And, you know, as new business owners, as people, you know, beginning startups, like, sometimes you need like a hand-holding session, right, to get where you need to be. And there's just a huge disconnect, and it's a big flaw.
It is.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. I want to kind of go back to your platform, and I want to ask you, what, if you could boil it down to one thing, what is the biggest issue that you plan on tackling?
Healthcare.
I mean,
that's it. Healthcare. It is healthcare, education, jobs. That's how it lines up. I had just a quick quick overview of what my experience with healthcare has been. 2 years ago, I was in the hospital. I almost died from this syndrome called Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which is brought about from a very severe allergic reaction to certain medications.
Oh.
Now, while I was in the hospital, I have healthcare. And I was concerned with how I was going to pay this healthcare because I'm in sales, and I was getting 60% of half of my salary while I was in the hospital, what have you. So when I got out, it was a very traumatic experience. But while I was laying there, I was like, you know what? I can't believe I'm even thinking about this. I should be blessed. I should be thankful that I have healthcare at all. Now, we need to make access to healthcare. It's not a privilege. It is a right. Every person walking around breathing this air in Georgia, in America, should have a right to it. Now, we can't make the change over the nation, but we can absolutely make it more accessible at the very least. People in those counties we talked about before,
right?
They should at least be able to go down the street and talk to a doctor when they have issues.
Right.
That just makes sense.
Right. We should make your campaign like Save the Vaginas. And because I'm still traumatized. Like
I'll let
I'm
you work on that for me.
But seriously, like I'm like, wow. Can you imagine? Can you imagine not being able to, like, if you're pregnant and having to drive an hour to go see your OBGYN? Like, whoa, that's crazy.
That would be how many times a week possibly?
Right. And if you were anything like me during my pregnancy, I had cholestasis. I had to go to the doctor and get treatment 4 times a week. Wow. So that's a 8-hour trip, 8 hours just driving every week.
And LB, if you were poor and you were a mother, you were a new mother, you're only given 60 days on Medicaid in order to get through what was a year-long, possibly a year-long process of a pregnancy. And now, outside of that 60 days, you no longer have access to the medicines, to the physicians, to the facilities. And these people are,
me out.
This is very real.
Georgia is almost number 1 in maternal mortality rate.
Yeah.
For poor mother. We've got to do something about that. Now they talk about it. They talk about it in the state legislature, but I'm not about talking. That's why I don't think people are going to like me when I get there. I'm about doing something and making this happen and bulldogging it until it gets done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Carmen, is there any questions from our audience?
Let me actually check. And before I do that, I'll ask a question. What is sort of in terms of healthcare, a measurable action that you would like to take while in office? If you could accomplish one thing within healthcare, what would that be?
I think if I could accomplish one thing, that is a very, you know what? It would have to be curbing the mortality rate for young mothers. It would have to be curbing that. I think that would be a very good measure. And I'm in contact with 2 very, very, very good doctors that have a heart for making this change. So I'm not just saying this is something I want to do. I'm already working on it. I have had 3 meetings with them up to this point.
So has it been hard campaigning for you with, social distancing? And I know that you've probably done 1 million Zoom meetings, 1 million pop-ups.
Yes. So I won't say it's hard because, I think if I were to sit here and complain about it being hard, that kind of steps on people that are actually really, really struggling. Mm-hmm. I would say that my, the cards, if it's difficult to play the cards that you dealt, you have to change the way you play the game. And that's the way that I've done. We've completely flipped our campaign strategy, and we're focusing on people. We're focusing on social media. We're going to Zooms. Bless you. We're going to Zooms. We're taking care of the business aspect of it as if, we're in front of our computers every day.
Right.
So we just had to flip it. And yes, it's been challenging, but it's well worth the fight because I know I can do something to help people.
Absolutely. Carmen, have you seen anything?
We do not have any questions on there, but I think that tells a lot about you, as a person, just being able to adapt and just kind of roll with the punches and be like, okay, well, this is what we got to do, and just go with it. So,
right.
Do you have anything that you want to share to the people?
Well, yes, I would. I have I follow very, very straightforward things. I believe in accountability and extreme ownership. That one of my favorite people to listen to is this guy called Jocko Willink. Crazy name, but he is a beast. He's a veteran and from former special spec ops.
Mm-hmm.
He says that if you can't take accountability and ownership, then you don't need to be doing what you're doing. And the bottom line is, nobody's holding these guys accountable that have been elected to office. If you're elected, number one, day one, from that election, you should make it your personal responsibility to take care of the people that put you in office and the people that voted against you. And I don't think I think we've moved so far away from that. And so,
how do we move back?
I think we have to get people back in there that take that down as a tenet to live by. Yeah. People like me. I do not expect to be there, or at least not to have a challenge in 2 years once I'm elected, because I'm going in there not as a politician to build my own business or whatever, blah, 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 but to actually fight for something that the people can notice and see as a change. And once you get more people with that type of mindset, I don't care if they're coming from whatever background they're coming from. If you get people that are going to fight for the people, that's how you make the change.
Absolutely. Well, Carmen, do you have anything else?
I do not. This has been an absolute pleasure.
I know it's been
enlightening as well. I know, not in a good way. Just learning about these terrible statistics in the great state of Georgia.
Right.
It's got to change.
And the thing is, they're changeable. We can do something about it. We just have to stop talking about it. Absolutely. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but like anything, you got to fight for it.
Absolutely. Well, our platform is open to you anytime that you want to come and talk to our audience or share our audience with your audience. We thank you so much for your time and your knowledge, and best of luck to you in this campaign.
Absolutely appreciate it. LB, I appreciate you. And Carmen, thank you so much for staging this platform. I look forward to the next forum whenever you get it together. Let me know.
We're about to get it together. Sabrina got us doing another one, so I don't know when we're going to do it, but it's happening.
And can you tell people how they can get in contact with you if they have any questions, or how they can just reach you if they want to follow you or anything like that?
Right. Yes. Thank you. So
for you.
So yes, my website is electmarcusforus.com, and that's there are no numbers, it's all words. You spell Marcus the way it sounds, Marcus. My Facebook page is, you can search it by @MarcusForusAll, and I believe in my Instagram is Marcus_164, Marcus Thompson _164. Perfect. So please come visit me. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me via my website, social media. I will definitely respond back.
Awesome. Can you, one more time, that email or website was electmarcusforusall.com?
No, electmarcusforus.com.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, have a good one.
You too. You guys take care and stay safe.
So how you feeling?
What a breath of fresh air. It was
Nice. It's nice.
Yeah, and it's nice to I feel like when you're speaking with somebody sometimes and you feel like they have like ulterior motives or like just like this crazy agenda that they're pushing and everything just seemed, like these are reasonable, important things, like really actually important things, and not, not that other issues aren't as important, but like this is like literally like life and death matter, like education, healthcare, like those are important things. Like this is our future. This is like our health, like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I kind of want to hear like what the other side, who his opponent is. And like, I want to like sit down and compare with some tea. Oh my God. So no, he was great. He's really personable. But I can't believe that, girl. I'm for real. Like, Save the Vaginas definitely needs to be some, like, I know it sounds funny, but it really does need to be a campaign or a strategy or something, because like, can you imagine when you were pregnant with Rory, having to drive an hour there, an hour back?
So I complained. My OBGYN was about 10 minutes max with the worst traffic from my house. And I had to go 3 times a week. And I complained about that because like I drove myself. So I was like I was big as hell and it was uncomfortable, and having to go, that often throughout the week. But like, imagine, like, not everybody has a license. Not everybody has reliable transportation, and not everybody lives 10 minutes away.
Not everybody lives 10 minutes away. Who can afford that amount of gas?
Exactly.
Can you imagine?
I mean, people are struggling when they live in the city and in a central location. They struggle with bus fare and things like that. So like, it is a privilege that I don't have to worry about these things, but that's not everybody's case.
That's not everybody's story. And girl, can you just imagine just like, and then having like, what if you had complications on top of that?
Exactly.
I just, like I said, my story. When I was pregnant with Langston, like my body literally was trying to push him out.
Yeah.
And I had to go to the doctor and get treatment. And like, it was the worst pregnancy. And
when you're pregnant, you should have to worry about being pregnant and being healthy
and being
not
healthy,
being stressed, and all these other things that are preventable.
Right.
Worry about.
And then, you know what? And then I was just thinking about this too, because we're talking about healthcare, but like, what we should have asked him about, like, what about diet and food for people in healthcare? Because I think that's like the first preventative maintenance drug, is like getting healthy foods. Girl, look at me strategizing for him. But like,
Listen,
I'm so sick of these food deserts. I don't know what to do with myself. And I just feel like if we could just like help communities that don't, we're coming from a place of privilege.
Do you think that starts? Because like, I'm trying to think of something to compare. Like, so like New Orleans does Eat Fit NOLA, which is like through Ochsner, which is a hospital here. And it is, so take most restaurants in this area participate in that. And it's like having almost like a separate menu, like, oh, this is Eat Fit NOLA certified. And it's just like a healthier, lower calorie,
That's
whatever
smart
thing. And a lot of restaurants participate in it because people want the option to dine out as well as, or dine in, I don't know.
Yeah.
As having healthy options. So a lot of places like partner with Ochsner, and a representative from the hospital comes out and just sort of explains what it is. It gives education to the staff, as well as curating a menu based off of what you have to have that Eat Fit option. So I'm like, is that sort of a good thing to do, or do you kind of start in
that would be a really
like,
good thing? I know that like, for in Savannah, that the farmers market, the Forsyth Farmers Market has this like pharmacy where you can get like fresh fruits and vegetables with, I want to say with your EBT card. I'm probably completely butchering this, but I know that you can like sign up and get like fresh fruits and vegetables if you're low income. And but I don't know about any other. I know that I don't think that there's any restaurants that have that sort of like Eat Fit NOLA thing. That's a good idea. And I think I would love that, you know, especially right now. Like,
I don't do it all the time, but it's just like, hey, like this is available if you would like to utilize it while still going to your pizzeria or whatever. It's an option. And
I love that.
People in Georgia, they don't have that option unless it doesn't affect you and you're not worried about those things.
Or unless you have money and you go to, you know, more posh restaurants that, you know, cost $15 to get a, you know, buffalo cauliflower sandwich.
Yeah.
Them sandwiches be good as hell, though.
So your bill is over $100. You're like, how did this happen?
How? Girl, we be doing that all the time. We be
like, hold on.
we be having bills like that.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, like, what, because, like, again, like Marcus was saying, like, we can talk about it, but, like, what it comes down to is, like, okay, I think we all agree this is a great idea. We all agree it's important. But, like, how do you implement that?
Hopefully he has a policy. I mean, he said that he's been talking to some doctors. Hopefully he has it. Best of luck to him during his campaign. What you got going on? What's going on with you this week?
Not a whole lot. I'm trying to sort of get back into a routine of taking care of myself. And when I say that, I mean like taking my ass on some walks this week and just sort of prioritizing health again, since we're talking about that. Because I've just, you know, been having too many beers this week and thinking that quarantine calories don't count, and they do.
You want to see something that's going to give you nostalgia?
Yes. Oh, is it an old? Oh, God.
No, look.
Oh, my God. I want some boots. So those are, if you guys didn't see, those are Air Force. Those aren't the issued ones, but those are boots. And they're great. Like, we used to wear them in just like a regular uniform, whatever. But they're great for like working out in. They're great if you want to like make an outfit look cute. Like, oh, let me just throw some boots on with these jeans. They're perfect for just like anything. And I adore them. So
I kept mine when I got out the military. I know. So full disclosure, you guys, like I got ready in 2 minutes because I just went on a road march before the interview.
We usually check in maybe like 10 to 15 minutes beforehand. I'll FaceTime LB beforehand. Be like, hey, just want to make sure like we're good. We're still on. And I somehow was like, oh, like, I was like, okay, I'll see you in 12 minutes. And then, you know, we hung up, we joined the Zoom. And then I saw yoga pants and I joined the Zoom and I was like, oh, you look nice. And I'm just like, do not underestimate women because that was a transformation. I was like, oh, you look great. Pleasantly surprised.
I'm musty as hell.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'm telling you, Black women, we can do everything.
Yeah, I was like, damn. Like, I was like, I don't know what she about. I was like, oh, hi, Marcus. You know, Elby's just wrapping some things up. She'll be joining us shortly. And I was like, I don't know what she's going to look like, but we'll see.
I was like setting this angle up, like, how can I make sure that you don't see none of the sweat?
No, it looks great. I was like, oh, she got lipstick. I was like, wow.
Girl, let me tell you, got the trick.
A boot camp, get ready real quick.
Girl, you got 5 minutes. I'm telling you, ladies, if you gotta go somewhere, you ain't got no makeup on, it's not supposed to go.
Right? It's a distraction.
Nobody pays attention to the rest of your face. They're just like, oh, that's a pretty color. Like, yeah, I have no eyebrows, but okay.
Oh, gosh.
All right, people, thank you so much for tuning into this Friday's pop-up. I don't know who we're going to have next Friday. We'll figure it out and we'll let you know.
Yeah, and then this is also another opportunity if you would like to utilize our platform. We are a bipartisan platform, and this is not just for political things, but if you're a politician, it's voting season, you know, you can certainly utilize our platform. We are a resource.
Business owners, we want to hear from you. What are you doing? How are you maintaining during this? Are you opening up? You know?
Yeah. So just message us on any platform, anything. If it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email, which is hello@theculturistunion.com. It's going to be either myself or LB. It's just us. So what's up?
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Alrighty, stop the live stream, and we are no longer recording.